Well, hello folks, and welcome to this little tutorial with me, David Connolly, the web developer extraordinaire. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an infinite, what we're going to call it, an infinite scroll feature, dynamically loading rows, something like that. But let me show you a demo of what's coming up. I have here a page with loads and loads of records, actually 1,000 records here. You can see that we've got this pagination going on, and well, there's nothing new there. We can do that quite easily with Trongate. But here's where it gets interesting. If we look at this, let's say on a mobile device, you'll see that it gets a little bit crammed. I know that we're looking over on the right hand side here. So, well, what do? Well, the idea is that instead of stacking the pagination, it's going to just, well, it's doing it there actually, maybe a bit too soon. We'll fix that in a second, right? But what's going to happen is it's going to disappear. And then the idea is that when we're on a mobile device, I'm just going to refresh here actually. Then when you scroll down, do you see the little spinner? And what it's doing is it's dynamically loading more rows. Now in this example, we're doing this with a table, but I'm going to show you how to do this with anything. New paragraphs, new divs, list items, whatever you want. And not only is it loading more rows when we scroll down, but if I take you back up to the top and open this up again, pagination reappears and you'll see that even the number here has changed. So we've moved on to page 38. So again, we're going to go down and move a few more pages and show you. There we go. We'll go back. Okay, and now we're on page 43. So that's what you're going to get here. And I'll also show you how to fix this embarrassing little glitch where this is going down here, because that's a bit uncool. So we're not going to have that problem either. So that's what's coming up. You're going to get all of this in one easy to follow video. Fair enough? Okay, so to kick this one off, I'm going to be using the Trongate desktop app. Everything you're going to be seeing here is open source. You can get the Trongate desktop app from trongate.io/download. Now let me just get this thing happening. So here it is here. This is the Trongate desktop app, of course. And I'm going to click Create New App. And I'm going to say for the app name, let's call it Infinite Scroll Demo. Okay, so call it anything you want. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to hit Submit. Now it's going to suggest a base URL. I'm quite happy with that, so I'll click Submit. And then we're going to enter our database connection details. I'll just click here and then Submit again. And now we're going to choose a location for the new app. Now I've got XAMPP running on my computer here. So for me, it's going to be htdocs. That's where all of the websites live, right? So I'm choosing htdocs and then create new app here. And I'm just going to click generate new app. And it's downloading it from GitHub. There you go. We have a new app. But let's just get straight to business. I'm going to click OK and then create new module. And let's choose new Trongate module. Okay, so as we've done many times before, we're going to build the world's fastest, or the fastest, maybe I should say, we're going to do the fastest build of a task manager ever. Let's build a little task manager. Right, okay. So the module name singular is task. That's the singular, right? So submit. It's going to suggest a navigation label of managed tasks. That's fine. Submit. Now for add icon, I'm going to just leave it. But you can choose a navigation icon if you like. It's up to you. I'll just say no. And now we're going to add some properties. So I'll click OK. The properties builder is going to appear. I'm going to keep this super simple. I'm going to choose a variable character of task title. And there we go. Okay, so submit property. It's going to be really simple. For the URL column, I'm choosing nothing at all. So that one there. And for default order by, it's going to be ID ascending. And now we're going to generate that new module. So it's doing its thing. It's actually getting the code from the Trongate website in case you're wondering what that's doing there, okay? So now we can view our module. And as you can see, we've now got the facility to go ahead and add tasks. We've got an API Explorer as well. All of that stuff set up. The admin panel, of course, it's all right there. Now, you can go ahead and add a bunch of tasks if you want. Best of luck, and I'll be cheering you on. However, for the purposes of speed, I'm going to be using a brand new module that has been added to the module market by my good friend Dom Sinclair from down there in England. So this is one that I'm quite excited about. It's not perfect. I think maybe some of the CSS could do with a couple of tweaks and stuff. He knows that. We're sort of, I think it's safe to say that this is a sort of version 0, but this is a very impressive module I'm going to show you here. I'm going to click Create New Module, and I'm going to choose Browse the Module Market. Okay. So the one I'm going to choose is this VTL Data Generator by Dom Sinclair. So I'm just going to click View. Here it is here. And I'm going to get this one, okay? Now, I cannot stress enough that this is a V1. So the one that you have may look a little bit different from this. Don't worry about it. I know that Dom's going to make this fantastic and perfect. And when that happens, maybe we'll do an entire video and focus on this. But for the moment, let's click View Your New Module. And fair warning, there's probably going to be a little syntax error, but don't worry about it, right? Just click on this. And this is Dom's module. You can see we've got a little error at the top, some buttons and stuff, a wee bit of a CSS challenge. Maybe it's been fixed by the time you watch this video. Maybe it's changed completely. Don't worry about it. Just listen to the friendly voice. So the first thing that we need to do is get rid of this. It seems to be a permissions error. Now, I don't know what operating system you've got, and I don't know how good you are with this type of thing. I'm using a Mac, so I'm going to open up the terminal. And the way that this works, if I just show you here, I'm going to head into htdocs. So I'm CDing into htdocs, okay? And then I'm going to type in chmod, so that's chmod, hyphen R, that means recursively. And I'm going to just say 777, and then it's called infinite. I'll just do a little tab, infinite scroll demo, and then I'll just press return, okay? All right, now I'm going to hit refresh here, and hopefully, there we go. Okay, it would have been a short video if that never worked. Now, if you have any problems with permissions and stuff, leave a comment, and somebody will help you out, okay? And you can see we've got a little challenge with the CSS here. I have a feeling that the design might have totally changed. It doesn't matter, don't worry about it. But hopefully you'll find somewhere that says create data, right? It's all we're looking for. So I'm going to click that. And I'm going to choose a table. And the table I'm going to choose is tasks. Okay, now I'm going to tick this little box here. And then enter the number of rows that you wish to generate. I'm going to say 1000. I'll just type in 1000 and then generate fake data. Okay, so the following rows were inserted, 1000. I'm going to close, and then I'm going to head in to manage tasks. And as you can see, we now have 1000 records added. And do me a favor, could you type in a little DS for Dom Sinclair, who has made this fabulous module? He's really put a lot of work into it, and we're all grateful, you know. Anyway, we've now got 1000 records here. Let's get the autoloader thing working. Now, I'm going to right click and inspect. I don't know what browser you're on, but hopefully you can do something like this, okay? And let's just click into somewhere, maybe, I don't know, page 17 or 18. I want to get as much pagination stuff here as possible. You see how we've got a big old bunch of these links, right? So this is called pagination. All right. Now, let's shrink the page in, and I want you to find the point when this starts looking rubbish. Like, do you see how it's stacking here? Kind of starts to look a bit rubbish, okay? That's what we're looking for. So we're moving over, and probably about there, you see it's running into problems. Now, if you look at the very top right-hand side of the screen, you might be able to see some pixels here. It shows you the width of the viewport. And I don't know what you're getting, but I'm going to just say probably, let's call it 1100 pixels, okay? So that's when the trouble starts for me, give or take, right? It's, you know, it's not a perfect science or anything, but just take a guess. I'm going to go with 1100. You do whatever makes you feel good. Now, let's open up our text editor here. So for me, it's Sublime, and I'm just going to open up the app that we've just made. It's Infinite Scroller. Where on earth is it? Here it is here. Infinite Scroll Demo. Here it is here. Okay. Now I'm going to go into Modules, Tasks, Views, and then Manage. Okay. Now that's this view file here. That's the view file that's making all of this happen here. All right. So I'm going to head downstairs, right to the bottom of the view file, and I'm going to do some style tags. So we just say style. You might be able to do a little tab, and there you go. And now I'm going to do a media query. This is just a little special bit of CSS. There's a couple of different ways of doing it actually, but this is the way that I'm going to do it so that the pagination hides when we are below a certain width, right? So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to say at media, and I'm going to space out. I'll make this a bit bigger here. I'm going to use parenthesis, and I'm going to say max hyphen width, a little colon, and then it's 1100 px. Okay, so up to a maximum width of 1100, that was the guess, right? Well, what are we going to do? We're going to hide these pagination things here. Now, if I just inspect and you look closely, you'll see that those blocks with all of these links have all got a class of pagination. So for the CSS rule, we're going to say dot pagination, and we're going to just say display none and a little semicolon, okay? Now save that, and guess what? I know that you're going to find this hard to believe, but that's the end of the tutorial. Done. And let me prove it. If we're on a nice wide screen, we've got our normal pagination, everything's fine. I'm going to take you back to page 1 here. Okay, we'll have a little refresh for good luck. Now I'm going to drag this over, and you'll see the pagination has disappeared here, right? So we're simulating a mobile device here. Now let's have a refresh, and you should see the extra rows have appeared here. It knows that we're on a narrow device, such as a mobile device. It's not going to try and make the pagination appear here because it just won't fit in. But as we scroll, you'll notice that a whole bunch of rows keep on getting added on here. Isn't that amazing? And by the way, just to prove that this is working, there's a little challenge here. The framework is too fast, and I'm not joking. It's just too fast, so you can't really see it working. So allow me to just slow things down so that you can really see that this is doing its job. Now, the first thing I'll do is I'm going to go to the rows here. So here's our task title. And let me just echo a little row ID with a space, okay? Maybe even a little colon here. So if we save, I'll head to the top and refresh. Do you see how it says 1, 2, 3? That's our record IDs, okay? Now I'm scrolling. Do you see the IDs going up and up and up? It's going to go all the way. And by the way, not only is it doing that, but if I open back up and head to the top here, you will notice that the actual link here changes. Let me just show you again. So do you see how we're on page 1? All right, let's go down a wee bit. Let's open it. And now we're on page 45. It's a very, very cool system, this. So again, it's just a shame that the framework is so fast because you can't quite appreciate the magic here. So what I'll do is I'm going to go into public JS infinite scroll.js. Now, what we're about to do here, you probably don't want to do this live, but it's just to show you what this thing's doing, okay? I'm going to look for http.send. There we go. So this is where it's sending a GET request and it's fetching rows, okay? Now, if we scroll down, do you see this part here? Remove all loading more spinners. I'm going to do a little set timeout. So it's set timeout like this. This is how we write it. And I'm going to say comma, and we'll make it maybe 1.5 seconds, okay? So 1500. And then I'm going to put remove all loading spinners in here, okay? So that's going to give us a little delay and it'll help you to appreciate what's going on here. So let me save. We'll do a hard reload. There we go. And now I'm going to scroll. So keep your eye on the bottom right-hand side of the page. So do you see the spinner? There's the spinner and it's loading in those rows. It's very, very cool. And it's going to do that all the way to, in this case, 1,000 records. All right, so that's all there is to it. And there you go. Now, by the way, this is a feature that has been built into the framework. It's all working for you. You don't have to really worry too much about how it works or anything like that. But what I will say is, if for some reason you don't want this feature, and I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't like this, well, you can actually go into tasks here. I'm going to go to manage. And you see how we're setting up this pagination data? We can say pagination data enable. Now, what on earth is it called? It's called enable infinite scroll. There you go. Enable infinite scroll. And I'm going to set it to false. So if we save and refresh, it was going so good. What on earth do we type? Hold on. Enable infinite scrolling. That's what I called it. There we go. I actually don't know why you would want to do this anyway, but let's just save and refresh. And now it's not doing that, okay? So we're not enforcing any of this. We don't enforce things around here. We only do stuff that makes you feel good. Anyway, by default, this is set to true. You can just leave it out. And there you have it. Pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, or if you did, I'd be grateful if you could leave me a little thumbs up and maybe a comment. It would mean a whole lot to me. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon. Cheers.